classical pianist, and today I'd like to do a quick tutorial on the middle section of Chopin's Etude in E major. So if I can turn to the music real quick. So basically, as you know, the first part of Chopin's Etude in E major is very lyrical. It sounds kind of like. But I wanted to do a tutorial on the difficult middle section, which requires it's really important to have the correct technique when you're playing that middle section of it. So basically it starts out kind of like this. That part's not too bad, but I wanted to start out, and I'll have the camera point at the keys here in a minute, but I wanted to start out by saying that Chopin wanted all of his students to think of their arm as one unit, from the top of the shoulder to the tip of the finger. He wanted us to think of it as just one unit. And that's important because when we play from the shoulder, as opposed to from the wrists or the elbow, when we play from the shoulder, we have a 360-degree range of motion. So we can move forward, backward. If we have our good hand position with curved fingers and a fairly high wrist, we can move forward, backward, side to side, and our wrists, if we have good wrist rotation, we have this 360-degree range of motion from the shoulder. So it's important, and I think that really comes into play in this particular etude. So let's take a look at the music and the keyboard. I'll go ahead and move this down towards the keyboard. So basically, it starts out like this, and I think we're going to want, let me see if I can get this to do. So I think the motion that's important for us to use when we play this middle section is this sort of a thing. Now, if I were to play sixth on the keyboard and move my wrist, so basically I want the upper arm here to be pushing my fingers forward into the keyboard. So if I do this, you can see my upper arm is pushing my fingers in, or my upper arm can pull them backwards. And I can do the same with both hands. Or I can pull backwards. Or I can do a combination of both. Push, pull. The muscles here in the upper arm are much stronger than the finger muscles, so they're able to do a lot more work. So let's go back to the keyboard for a second. So basically this movement starts like this. So I think it's really important. Now some teachers may disagree with what I'm saying in a way. They may say that you want to have sort of a circular motion in the wrist, or maybe, I don't think in this particular middle section of this particular etude that it's good to move side to side. I don't think you want to have that motion. The reason is because you're going to get stuck between the black keys trying to move this way. I think that it's not a good way. And I think having a circular motion in the wrist doesn't really work for this particular piece. It works great for the harp etude in A flat. Having that circular motion works because it helps you to accent that melody note at the top every time. But I don't feel right doing that motion with this particular piece. Because when I do that circular motion, it just makes me miss a lot of keys. But if I could be more like this kind of a motion, it helps me a lot. Now these notes, I just kind of fall on these grace notes. You can just sort of drop with this kind of a motion in the wrist. And then falling on those. And then this is that same in and out motion. Falling on those grace notes. Here, I drop and then I pull, pull. So it's like drop, pull, pull. Again, I really think if I did a circular motion on that, it just would make me miss notes. I would really drop into that chord, it's forte. I think you're sort of surgically entering into the keyboard and then pulling back in order to not play wrong notes. I would think of this section here as like 2-note slurs. Drop. Now, if you want to pedal it like that, you can. Chopin isn't specific here. I don't re-pedal each 2-note slur there. And these are not the 2-note slurs, obviously, that you would see in Haydn. You know, because those are single notes. They're just these are 4 notes at once. But I would still treat them like 2-note slurs. So you're dropping, then drop. And here I would drop on the first one. Of course you're not going to move this far forward, but you're going to move forward enough that when you come back, so your hands are making a little arc here. So it's not like this, it's not a circular motion with your wrist, but more of a forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Again, you're trying to get in between those black keys. So, and then the next part. And then the same thing in a little different key. This is different here because you're going down the scale chromatically. I think what's important here is to have really good fingering when you play this part. So 1 4 2 5, 1 3 2 4, 1 3 2 4, 1 5 1 3. My left hand fails at the bottom of that, the last 4 notes. I need to work on that. That time it was correct, but I need to practice it hand separately a little bit. Or slowly. Now this is fortissimo going into this con forza, which means with force. So you're really going to play that loud. So this here, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can still see my hand up there. Pull back, forward. Da, da. Same thing with the left, down, which is really hard here. Pull back, forward, drop, forward, drop, forward. Now this next part is the really hard part. Con bravura, so that means with brilliance. Chopin wants us to play that part brilliantly, but I think that those are two note slurs on steroids because they're all sixths. And you have to practice that slowly, but you're going to drop in, forward, drop, forward, drop, forward, drop, forward, drop, forward, drop, forward. And then it just keeps going. It looks like this is where it starts to settle down. It settles back into that main theme again. So hopefully this is a quick, I guess it's about 12 minutes now, a good tutorial on what technique you need to use. I've heard this middle section played faster. I play it kind of fast. I heard a recording the other day of it played more slowly, and that was excellent. I kind of like the slower tempo, but I heard it today played very brilliantly by Jan Lisecki, I think was his name, and I didn't agree. He really played that very dryly. I didn't care for it, but there are staccatos in the left hand at the beginning. I mean, he's a fabulous pianist, but I didn't like the separation. More pedal in there and more legato, but Chopin does like his scherzando sections in pieces. So anyway, hopefully that helps a little bit. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a comment in the comment section. I'm happy to answer questions, or to, if you need to know what the fingerings are for this edition I have here doesn't show them. I know what fingerings I use. Anyway, I hope that helps, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you back here soon. Thanks a lot.